Odd Eyes, Performapal, Lunalight. You know, with these new legendary modern decks, it's interesting to see how the old is doing. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. So today we have a curious little thing. You know, I was kind of curious, you know, how is some of this Odd Eyes, Performapal, you know, some of these old guard cards doing, you know, what if I want to pick up some of the old, shinier bling in order to just kind of enjoy? Well, right now, it's funny, these Odd Eyes, Arc Rays are a whole $54, which is crazy to me. Boxes of Monstrous Revenger 60. I love how these populate, by the way, when you search for Odd Eyes. You can get the Arc Ray QCR for $13. Vortex Dragon, which classically has been the one to kind of monitor throughout the years. You get a Portuguese version for a whole whopping $9 for Unlim. But it does look like if you do want first aid, you're going to be spending about $18 to get a copy of these. That's seemingly expensive. And then you eventually go up here to the $22 mark. That's kind of insane, honestly. So, I mean, of course, Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon still has value. I think I'd be disappointed if it didn't. Also, if you were looking for an Arc Ray Ultra Rare, these are a whole whopping $9 a piece, which isn't bad. Your Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragons, oh boy, here's another one that is got a little bit of value still jam-packed into. You can get mod plays for about $5 to $6, which isn't terrible. Looks like $6 on the light play first eds, which once again isn't too bad. But you know, you continue up on the escalation here, which I guess is all right to actually see. But okay, so that's 3 to 4. Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon, old manga promo, about $6 to $7, which isn't terrible, I feel like. I love that the dual power promo pack. I didn't even know you could buy this thing sealed. Wait, what detour? You can buy the dual power sealed promo pack for $6. That's hilarious. All right, Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon. This didn't get reprinted, did it, actually? Come to think about it, these are still $5 a piece. Actually still going up. These actually get sales. Yeah, there's a couple of stragglers in here. Though, to be fair, I mean, like, this is more of just the generic searchability. But, I mean, it is a searcher for the deck. So that's something to kind of keep an eye on for original prints. The Odd Eyes Phantasma Dragon, another Arc V promo. This one's a little bit cheaper than some of our predecessors, but still coming in about $5-ish, which is to be expected. The old Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon itself, which, keep in mind, we're going to be getting new support for this. The OGs are $3 plus shipping, which is not terrible. Your Performapal Odd Eyes Synchrons are coming in at $1.66. Your Secret Vortexes are, I mean, $3 to $4 a piece. Your Odd Eyes Venom Dragons, surprisingly, these are like $2. I'm a little bit surprised about that, actually. And also, funny enough, the old Arc Pendulum Dragon, these were up there for a little while. We have long since dropped down, though. I do see we did see a little bit of an uptick here as we were getting closer to this. You've had a couple of sales. I guess people wanted to pick up their ultra rare copies. And I mean, like, amassing a little play set of these isn't really going to break the bank too much. So I don't really think that's too bad. Also, there was Raging Dragon, which are still a couple of dollars. I'm more shocked to see that Odd Eyes Garbage is still worth it after all of these years. You know, and it's also like just the oddities. Also, Odd Eyes Persona Dragon still got a little bit of value back here, too. All right, sure. What about Performapal? So, fun fact, Secrets of Eternity boxes are $80. Your first expensive quarter century is Scroll Combat Joker. He's only $8. I'm actually very surprised to see that these didn't get hammered out. Only a couple copies of these sold. Huh. I guess. Sure. Do people forget that this has a QCR? It's also like the searcher within the deck. So, I mean, it's kind of an interesting one to see. Monkey boards are like $3-ish a copy right now. These are nothing exciting, honestly. It's severely underpowered, which stinks. Meanwhile, you know, 5 Rainbow Magician pops up like every other week in terms of, you know, being the new hot commodity. This card's actually freaking crazy. Your Performapal Pendulum Sorcerers. These are also $5 on up to 6s. The fact that these are two QCRs that are underrepresented right now in terms of value, I mean, like, sure, I can't imagine that these cards are going to fix Odd Eyes problems. You know, there is really, I don't expect that. The Performapal Karibo, I mean, this is $2 and moving on along. Actually, this one's more interesting. It's actually hit like 5, escalate on up to 6 to 7. Huh. I mean, when your opponent's monster declares their direct attack, so from this card in your hand, do change that to target this card and proceed to damage calculation. If you take battle damage, you gain that much life instead. It's not even a good card. It's just a ha-ha funny, I guess. Okay. Performapal cards are kind of junk, man. Like, as much as I want to be like, oh yeah, like these are game-changing. The reality situation is the more I get back here, and the more that we look at these, I mean, like, you've got every Skullcrabat Joker underneath the sun, so, like, I understand why the QCRs are inevitably as cheap as they are. Okay. Let's jump ahead to Lunalights. So Lunalights, if you are a fan of this deck, you're about to get hit with the max rarity tax. The fact that there is potentially 6 different Starlight rares that you might be able to pull out of this set is an entirely other creature of craziness that might be coming. Right now, I mean, Lunalight Gold Leos are still like 47s. I see the Arc V decks are actually pre-selling at 35s, which, I mean, is really bad, though. I mean, you get one of each of them all Charmies, you get Imperm's Ashes again. You know, you're getting that Essential Hand Trap power-up. So, I mean, like, that's not terrible. Lunalight Fusions are still $5. That's interesting. Saber Dancers are still like 5s. It's not bad. Leo Dancers are still coming in at 7s. Gold Leos are still coming in like 5s. Serenade Dancers are still 2 to 3s. Lunalight Tigers are, I mean, these are still pretty cheap for QCRs, honestly. Black Sheeps, this card should finally be flushing down the toilet. You know, for the longest time, these were holding at $2. And as you can see, like, as Lunalight's kind of deaccelerated over time, they've really pushed down. But, I mean, you're still very close to the $2 mark. And it's still to be expected, I guess. It's just interesting to see the long term here. The Wolf is very, very... Actually, this isn't even cheap. It's like $1 or $2. Really? Huh. I don't know why. I should have expected that to be a little bit cheaper. Lunalight cards actually have value, too. I mean, like, it's not great value, but, like, it's value. You know, also, we can't forget about Speedroid cards. Honestly, I think the fun Speedroid cards are just, like, what version of Terror Top is going to be crazy. Because I think we now officially have, what? QCR Ultimate Rare, and the possibility of seeing the Starlight Rare on top of that is hilarious. But I do see, you know, these do escalate up pretty quickly here. Cork Shooters, these are still 5s, which is, they are coming down a little bit. To be fair, you're crashing down from like 6 down to like 5, which is already not like a great crash down, but you've had a couple of sales. It's an interesting one. Chumbaros are still up there. For still stupid reason, the Domino Butterfly is still $2 to $3. Your QCR Speedroids are still $3. If there's a card that like you want to consider picking up, maybe go after the QCR Terror Top because they're really cheap. So also should end the argument on Terror Top or Talcum Tumborgs being expensive because I think we're getting the Ultra reprint in here, which is actually kind of nice. And then there's your Honk Honk Car Turbo still coming in like $1, which... Okay, rubber band shooters are still like dollars. I mean, looking at the rest of this stuff, I mean, this really dips down pretty quickly, to say the least. So, interesting just to kind of see some of this stuff. Also, fun fact, Legendary Collection Mistworms. I don't know if you guys check on some of these weird boys. But there's a light play here for like $8 to $9. You escalate on up a little bit further. And then you eventually hit the $9 mark here. And we continue to see these just kind of escalate. Eventually you hit like the $10 mark. Kind of crazy, actually. And then also Sleeve Chief is going to have the Game Boy deck box going on sale tomorrow. We've been showing off different color variations of these each and every day. Discount code MCO40 will actually save you on your purchase if you're interested in picking up one of these. Like I said, the window deck box has become quite an interesting new trend that's been going on recently. I'm not exactly sure what the fashion is for this. I really don't want my opponents knowing what they're doing, but you know, I guess it's something cool. So guys, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. Let's see your beautiful faces back here in day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.